This week, we're diving into two more free vehicles that could save you millions and also enhance your GTA experience. So first up here, we have the Dinka Kanjo SJ, which I think is a pretty fun choice for those players out there who value a little bit more of agility over raw power for their cars. And then following that, we also introduced the Karin Futo GTX, which is going to be every tuner's dream car here because it has an impressive speed and it's got exceptional drifting capabilities. Basically, it's just going to be tailored for those players out there who thrive on pushing their tuners cars to the absolute limits, and securing either of these cars for $0 given their pretty significant website market values. Honestly, we get some really good opportunities this week. They're not nearly the best cars in their class in the game, but for what they are, they're incredibly expensive, and so every player who's still playing GTA Online and everyone who still grinds this game should try to unlock these as soon as possible. So join me today. We're going to dive into the customization as well as their performance potential for both of these vehicles. I'm going to be testing them out on the track and we'll be seeing if they truly deliver on what the actual car promises you. Honestly, one of them really surprised me, so let's jump in and see what these cars have to offer. Starting off, this week's Diamond Casino and Resort Podium vehicle is the Dinka Kanjo SJ. It's available for $1.37 million, or just over $1 million with the trade price from Southern San Andreas Super Autos, and it was introduced in 2022 with the Criminal Enterprises update. The Kanjo SJ stands out in the game because it just has, honestly, decent handling. That's like the best feature about it, especially because it's a front-wheel drive car. I feel like it's got pretty decent handling then in that regard. The acceleration and the speed are going to be somewhat below average compared to other coupes in its class. The stable cornering it has is kind of nice. You get minimal risk of spinning out, even if you like aggressively take a turn and maneuver around. Despite the handling perks though that you get with this car, it is still going to struggle with durability. It's prone to lots of bodywork damage. You're going to easily lose random parts of your car if you crash or roll over or anything like that. But with that being said, let's hit the track and let's see how it performs in practice. But before we do that, consider checking out U4GM. They offer cheap GTA Online cash, handcrafted high-level GTA 5 accounts with lots of money, and even custom boost services. With over 8,000 comments on Trustpilot, check my link in the description and use my code HAZARD for 5% off. Let's start off here with the Dinka Kanjo SJ. Right now, I have this car customized with a metallic sea green just to give it a little bit more of a tuner aesthetic. I tried to fit the theme of this type of car, and I think I put either a frost white or an ice white pearlescent. I forget which one is the option. Tried to match it with like the side panel livery as well as the custom tires, things like that. Basically sea green along with some white elements. And this is what we got right now. You know, we got a big titanium coffee can exhaust, things like that. So let's head to the track and see how this car can perform, considering it is front wheel drive. When I test out these cars, I like to go up north, then we head east, south, east, back south, up this hill, start heading west, and then we wrap up at this same intersection. And the finish line is basically right here at this intersection. I mean, I should make it that line, but we're actually gonna always do the start of this intersection. So anyways, that's the start. I'm gonna set my timer. There should be time codes on screen for you guys to see, and let's get started. Front wheel drive car, lots of wheel spin right out of the way. And I can already tell you just from the very beginning when I was driving over here that we're going to get a lot of understeer, we're going to get a lot of plowing, a lot of sliding. I'm not even sure of what time to kind of like guess for this just yet because I've never taken this car on this course to test for a gameplay video like this. I'm going to guess around the 3-minute mark just because of the fact that you could see taking these turns. I mean, having front wheel drive cars is just not what you want here, but nonetheless, that is what we got with the Dinka Kanjo SJ. When it comes to the acceleration, you know, you don't feel super bogged down. The top speed isn't like awful, it's not great. There's nothing that's like pathetic about this car, but just for the cost, if you're gonna pay full price and you're not gonna win it off the podium this week, I mean, I know you can't force yourself to win it. There's ways to re-spin over and over and over. This is gonna cost us extra time here too, but you know, driver error, let's just take off 5 seconds at the end, maybe. Let's just see the full time. We're already a minute into this course, and man, this is like, yeah, it's not that quick of a car, I will be honest. But full price, you know, $1.5-ish million, that's a lot for an old Honda Civic, right? I think a lot of people will agree with me when I say that. You can get the Adder for $1 million. You can get, well, I guess you can't get the Entity XF anymore for $795,000 because it's a removed vehicle, but you used to be able to get it, right? For half as much as this car would go for, you get the Entity XF, which is infinitely more value. I'm really curious to see how this Kanjo SJ is going to handle this part of the track, because this is always in these free vehicle guides where I struggle with the vehicles most. you can kind of enter a nice drift with this thing. But yeah, you still get some severe understeer potential, and with it being front wheel drive, you could just see it's like a pain to navigate some of these turns and stuff like that, because the car just doesn't necessarily want to behave the way you'd expect, the way you want, things like that. So now we're entering, I guess, the second phase of this course. 2 minutes, 2 seconds on the clock so far. This may be... no, this isn't going to be a 4-minute car. This is going to be like 3 minutes and 30 seconds almost, I feel like. I thought we could shoot for like the 3 minute 10 second mark. I thought for sure we'd be over 3 minutes, but I'm a little bit nervous about how slow of a time this is going to be. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this, we'll see the exact time and I'll be like, wow, this is actually quicker than, you know, I was realizing. But so far, I could just tell you, I mean, that's the steering wheel turned all the way. We had good traction right before that turn right there. And you could see the turning radius is just super wide, obviously, once again, because of the drivetrain and where the power is put to the specific wheels on the car. Exhaust isn't really anything to note. I mean, this generation Honda Civic does look pretty cool. I always loved this car as a kid growing up, because like seeing people with their totally tuned and modded cars and things like that. Like, this is one that I would use a lot in, what was it, Need for Speed Underground 2, I think. Maybe it was the first one, I forget. Either way, would use it a lot in those games, and I liked it in that. In LA Rush. 3 minutes, 12 seconds. And of course, if we didn't have that crash, 3 minutes, 7 seconds, 3 minutes, 8. Not terrible, slower than I wanted it to be, but quicker than I thought it was going to be when we were like halfway through the course, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like a 4-minute car. No, we weren't anywhere close to 4 minutes, but 3 minutes and 12 seconds isn't like fantastic. So it is what it is right there. Next up here is this week's LS Car Meet Series prize ride vehicle, and that is the Karin Futo GTX. It's priced at a value of $1.59 million, or $1.192 million with the trade price from Southern San Andreas Super Autos again. It was released with the Los Santos Tuners update in 2021, and to secure this vehicle, your prize ride challenge that you need to complete this week is finish in the top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races for 3 consecutive days in a row before the next weekly event goes live. The Futo GTX is known for its impressive speed that it has, as well as its really good acceleration. It's got a nice standout feature, which is its drifting capabilities around corners. Honestly, similar to the predecessor, which is just the normal Futo, the Futo GTX is going to be just as susceptible to damage from heavy impacts. Just like that Kanjo SJ, the wheels are going to get misaligned, so you need the armor upgrades, all that, because your handling will 100% be affected if you crash without them. In competitive racing, the vehicle's natural inclination to just start drifting during every turn you go around is going to be a hindrance compared to more stable cars, but that's what makes it fun when we just test it out on the track. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's not necessarily a car you want to like competitively race for the best possible time, but even so, you could still beat out the Kanjo SJ in my opinion. So let's jump in and let's check it out. And here is the Karin Futo GTX, ladies and gentlemen, your LS Car Meet prize ride for this week. I think I was able to make this a little bit more of another tuner style vehicle. I tried to match the theme of course, the Kanjo SJ. Not necessarily that these are like full tuners cars, but they are tuners style vehicles. So here we go. You know, it's a 3-door coupe, I guess, because that rear trunk really realistically counts as a door in the game, funny enough, if you look at the game files. Yellow and black plate to match the black, and as well as the yellow livery. We have just alloy wheels, but I went with some street, I forget, these are like concave steely wheels or something like that. And overall, just more of like a stock appearance with this car. Of course, you have the flip-up headlights, which is nice. And I think just from the way this car is tuned, we're going to be getting a slightly better time than the Kanjo SJ. But let's confirm that or not by taking it to the track, seeing how we do. And here we are at the track. So let's give this car a nice little rev. Sounds better than the Kanjo SJ in my opinion. It is rear-wheel drive, which I forgot to mention earlier. But let's start our timer. And 3, 2, 1, go. Let's take off. About the same wheel spin as the Kanjo SJ, but already you could see there's like way more power with this vehicle. It's just very apparent as you're driving, which is really nice. I'm happy about that. I'm a little bit nervous though, because this car is very slidey. It's not like uncontrollably slidey, but more slidey than you'd want with a rear wheel drive car. So you just got to be careful. What's cool is you can get some nice drifts. So if you're a player out there who likes to drift around in this game, this is going to be the car for you, for sure. Same with the Kanjo SJ in a sense. But for like normal track driving, whoa, we got to watch it right there. See how it likes to just slightly not step out on you in a way that's gonna put you off the car, but it's very nice and controlled. But we just don't want to do that all the time just in case we slide right off the road. But it is fun. I'd say this car can offer you a very thrilling driving experience. I don't even have drift upgrades or anything on this car. This is just the Futo GTX, you know, with max engine upgrades, brake, turbo, transmission, all that. It's fun, man. I have a smile on my face. I hope you could tell. With the Kanjo SJ, I was just like, you know, I'm not feeling it. This thing's fun. I love the Futos in GTA. The Futo, like the normal Futo in GTA 4 was a thrill to drive. Then we had the normal Futo in this game, and then Rockstar eventually released the Futo GTX, and oh, that's unfortunate. I will be honest. I was hoping I wouldn't crash this car, and sadly I did. So let's keep going around the track. Right now we're 1 minute and 32 seconds on the clock right here. Let's see how we could perform around this. Whew. Okay, that time it did get away from me a little bit. I had to like double take and catch it. I had to brake and everything. You could tell this car wants to, it wants to drift, and it's fun. I'm not the best driver in this game. I wouldn't even say I'm a fantastic driver in this game. I'm just an average driver, honestly. Like, you know, I don't do races or anything like that. Like, way back in the day, I used to when my friends used to play this game with me, but I can never get them to play GTA on PC with me. Anyways, you know, I'm not like an above average driver by any means, you know, and especially, I don't know the racing lines with anything. I mean, with this track, I could force it, but like, just in general, racing lines with other tracks in this game, I don't do that stuff, right? So, I would say that I'm an average driver, and this thing is fun, and I feel like I'm performing kind of well with it, right? So, if all that to say, if you are an above average driver and you're good at driving cars in this game, then you do really well with this car, I'd imagine. You can control it, you could do all the drifts without having any risk of spinning out. I'm sort of all over the track right now. 2 minutes, 41 seconds on the clock. We're gonna beat the Kanjo SJ. We're gonna get here maybe in the next 20 seconds. Man, if we can get at least 5 seconds quicker than the Kanjo SJ, that would be awesome. I feel like a lot of these drifts are slowing us down in a sense, but this car definitely feels quicker to accelerate, and it feels like it has a higher top speed too. Oh yeah, we're gonna beat the Kanjo SJ by almost 10 seconds here. Boom, 3 minutes, 5 seconds. So 7 seconds officially, but if we subtract the time from the Kanjo SJ, where, you know, I said it would probably be 307, 308, and we subtract another 5 seconds off of here from all the drifting, like, we'd be about the same. We'd be about 10 seconds ahead. So, honestly, I think the Futo GTX is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a little bit hefty of a requirement this week, but just do some drag races, and you'll be pretty much good to go. This vehicle is fun, man. And look at the drifts you can initiate here. Just start drifting to the left, pull your analog stick to the right a little bit, and you can kind of drift forever. Now I'm kind of messing it up, but this thing's fun, dude. Enjoy it. But with all that said, we're going to be wrapping things up right here. So thank you guys so much for watching yet another episode of my free vehicles guide here for GTA 5 Online. I appreciate all the support you guys give my videos and my channel in general, both with GTA as well as Red Dead Online. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And I'll see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.